And welcome back to this second of a three-part series about the three things you need to know to master taking care of your hair and maintaining the growth over your lifetime, especially going into a new year. So number two, how do we maintain the length of our hair once it grows from the scalp all the way down to the end? How do we ensure that every strand of hair that grows from our scalp lives to tell the tale of what it is like to get to the end of that hair strand, all the way down? What do we do? So first, we must maintain. Now, in terms of your hair strand, there are two things working together to keep it healthy: moisture and protein. Now, the protein is that bond that interlocks and keeps your hair strands together. So when you strengthen that protein in your hair, it's going to add strength. Now, if you have too much protein, the hair is going to be too strong and therefore it's going to be too brittle. So it breaks immediately, like a pencil. Apply some pressure, it's strong. Apply too much pressure, it breaks. What we want, because we're going to be doing a lot with our hair, we're going to be braiding it, we're going to be tugging it, we're going to be doing a lot with our hair over time. So we must maintain a moisture protein balance. So that is where the moisture comes in. So you have to add moisture following your protein so that it maintains the balance, so that the moisture will add some amount of elasticity to the hair strand. So while it is strong, it is still flexible and it can go to different proportions without breaking. And that is what we want to maintain. So if we are able to maintain a moisture protein balance, then our hair is likely to make its way from the root all the way down through the life cycle of the anagen phase. All right, so how do we do that? So of course, in your regimen, you're going to have a protein conditioner. So there are different types of levels of protein. You have hard protein. For example, there's a Nexus protein reconstructor. Now that's hard stuff. We'll perhaps look at one of those in an upcoming video. And then for me, I use the mane and tail conditioner, which is light protein. So it gives sufficient protein for maintaining. Now, if you are starved of protein, your hair is easily broken and it's very thin, and each strand is, as you touch it, it separates. You'll definitely need some protein. So of course, your stylist can recommend, or you can search around for protein products that give you some more protein, but maybe not the hard protein, because that hard protein is really strong. And unless your hair is extremely weak and breaking and so on, you don't want to touch that stuff, all right? Because you have something called protein overload. So if your hair suffers from protein overload, you're going to be in serious problems. So you don't want to spend too much time working with a particular protein treatment if it's not going to be beneficial to your hair. So you have to recognize what is going on with your hair, and from there you can make a decision. All right, so you're going to look a little bit more deeper into that in other videos. So that protein moisture balance is going to be critical to ensure that you maintain the health of your strands. All right, so we have the protein, and we have sufficient moisture. All right, so that we have to do that often enough. So what we also have is another process called moisturizing and sealing. So the protein moisture balance is going to take place when you are washing your hair. So you're going to decide how much protein am I going to include in my wash day, how much moisture am I going to include in my wash day. And you've done that. At the end of it, when you're through and you've dried your hair and all of that, and you're working through the process for a 2-week period, you have to moisturize and seal our hair. Alright, so during the course of between washes, we maintain the strength of our hair by moisturizing and sealing in that moisture. If the hair is not moisturized, of course, it's going to be brittle, and as you manipulate and work with the hair during the period, it's going to break. Alright, so putting in that moisture is going to maintain that elasticity and ensure that you have less breakage. When you moisturize and seal your hair, you're maintaining that flexibility so that your hair remains strong, and in doing that you're going to see less breakage, and once you have less breakage you obviously have a greater length retention. And that's another hair term that we talk about, length retention, because most of the time persons will say my hair is not growing. It's not that it's not growing, it's that you're not retaining the length that is growing out. So it's either breaking off through how you manipulate it, if you're not keeping it moisturized, the combs that you use, if you keep cutting it, if it's splitting, if you have single strand knots. So many things can prevent your hair from making it all the way down the shaft of the hair. So here are the key things you need to remember. Ensuring that in your wash day you focus on whether your hair needs moisture or protein. If your hair is very stringy and very easily separated, you just put it between your fingers and make a single pull and it separates, it feels very thin and wiry, chances are you need protein. If your hair is very hard and stiff, and you're pulling it and it feels very brittle, like it won't bend or it won't stretch, then clearly your hair has too much protein and you need some moisture to balance that out so that you can improve the elasticity so that your hair is not going to break as easily. So once you've taken care of that, then after your wash day you have to maintain between washes, you have to ensure that you moisturize and seal to maintain that balance. Alright? Also, one of the things that I used to hear a lot of talk about this, but I never included it into my regimen until recently, and that is including natural oils. Putting the oils on the hair. That is a game changer because it improves the strength of the hair, and you're still maintaining your moisturizing and sealing. But because the elements, the heat, the sun, and so on is going to, or the weather conditions is going to pull away that moisture one way or another. So that sealing with a light oil forms a barrier over that strand of hair and prevents the moisture that you have put in to evaporate so easily. So it maintains the moisture within the strand of the hair, and that is extremely important in maintaining the strength and elasticity of the hair and ensuring that while it comes out of the scalp, it's going to make its way all the way down your strands. So joining me for this segment, in the next segment we're going to look at your ends. Now you've made it from the root all the way down. What do we do with our ends? How do we ensure that our ends remain intact so that our hair can continue to grow healthy and strong? If you want to learn about that, then stick around for the next installment of this 3-part series of the 3 things you need to know
to grow your hair healthy, long, and strong.